back with another video. This is What If Naruto Was the Sage of Six Paths Part 1, because the other part was a Part 0, but I didn't name it Part 0 because I think I'm just going to name it with a name and nothing else. And because I just checked the like goal, I just checked the likes on the video, so I'm going to have to raise the like goal to 55 likes. And please hit that subscribe button because our channel is actually growing really fast, and I'm actually very happy. And it means I'm going to drop another What If Hashirama kept the Biju. Anyways, we left off with Naruto going to bed after a day of training, and he wakes up in a different place, his psyche, and he sees the Nine Tails. Naruto then says, "Who are you? Are you the reason for my suffering? Are you the reason I get the stares, the looks, the hate?" As the Nine Tails then replied, "Yes, that may be true." Naruto then said, "Then why did you bring me here?" As the Nine Tails then said, "You're here because I wanted to let you know about your heritage. And I wanted to be your friend." As Naruto then said, "Okay, I'm all ears, I guess." As Kurama told him what he knew about Kushina and Minato, and explained to him about the masked man who he wanted Naruto to defeat to enact revenge for him. And Naruto said, "From what I hear, how am I able to do that with the power I have at the moment?" Kurama then said, "I'll train you, and I'll give you some of my chakra." As he then said, "It's okay. I'll beat him with my own power, and then I'll show you that I don't need your chakra, and only then will I accept your power with grace." As he then said, "That's fine, but I'm always here if you need help." As Kurama looked at Naruto with a menacing stare, as he then said, "I am Kurama, the nine-tailed fox," as he pushed Naruto out of his subconscious. But Naruto said, "No, I'll leave on my own accord." As he activated his 3 Tomoe Sharingan, fighting back with his own menacing stare, as he then said, "See ya, Kurama, and don't try that again. This is my body, and you're living in it." As he then left his psyche and got some salty ramen from his cupboard. As he ate and then went to Hiruzen, who taught him the multi-shadow clone jutsu, as Naruto was bugging him and he needed to do paperwork. He then went to Sasuke's house, as he knew he would want to build a friendship with Sasuke, and they would become brothers, and he did. And he at least wanted to build a bond. And they didn't, and they started getting along, as Naruto was pretty strong and Sasuke was as well. As Sakura then saw them hanging out together, as she said, "What are you doing hanging out with him?" As Sasuke said, "His name's Naruto Uzumaki Uchiha. At least soon it will be." As he then said, "What? Never mind that. Why are you with him? He can't even create a proper clone." As he then created 20, as all the clones said, "I can't create only one clone because I have too much chakra. Maybe if you didn't have such low chakra reserves, then you would know why." As Sasuke and Naruto then said, "Get out of here, Sakura." As she then shed a tear, running away, as they laughed, as Naruto and Sasuke started sparring together, as Naruto took him to his training area. As they then started sparring, as Naruto said, "Do you know any chakra natures?" Sasuke said, "Yeah, fire release." As he then said, "Watch this," as he fired a fireball at Naruto. As he said, "Inside your head, let's see why Dad says you're a force to be reckoned with." What he means by this is Fugaku always says Naruto's very strong. So it's basically like that. You're forced to be reckoned with. As Naruto then absorbed it and said, "You'll have to try harder," as he then launched it back at Sasuke. As he did this by pushing his chakra kind of like through his arm, and then it kind of like pushed it out in like a decent sized burst, making it like double the force in a way if he adds a lot of chakra, which can do what I'll explain here. Out from his palm, as Naruto then said, "Double the force," as it was covered in a blue aura, which Sasuke knew was chakra. As Sasuke wasn't even able to react in time and got burnt, as they started taijutsu training. As Sasuke was winning, but because Sasuke had his Sharingan open, only one Tomoe right now, just because, yeah. And because he's been pushed a bit more, and he has one Tomoe. But then Naruto activated his Sharingan, which is a 3 Tomoe Sharingan, boosting his perception as Naruto won the fight. As Naruto then said, "You'll get better. You have to." As Sasuke then said, "Do you have any chakra natures yet?" As Naruto said, "All 5, but I don't have any jutsu for them." As Sasuke said, "Here," as he did the Hanses for a fireball. As Naruto copied the Hanses with his advanced Sharingan, learning the fireball jutsu. As they both went home, but this time Naruto went home in his new room at Fugaku and Mikoto's house, with a smile on his face as he went to bed. We now have a big time skip, about 6 years. I think that's the biggest time skip I've ever done. And Naruto and Sasuke are the best in their class. As Naruto was then approached by Mizuki, as he then said, of course, shaking Mizuki's hand, as he was then teleported into Naruto's time-space dimension. As he then took the scroll, writing as many jutsu down as he could, as he then put it away, telling the third Hokage that he caught Mizuki. As he then said, Jiku, well, before this, he only did the scroll stuff because he made a promise, but it was to benefit himself. As he then said, Jiku, teleporting Hiruzen into his time-safe dimension, as he went into it himself as well. As they interrogated Mizuki, well, Hiruzen did, and Naruto learned from Hiruzen. As Naruto then killed Mizuki and teleported out of his time-space with Hiruzen. As he then went home, and also, this Sasuke has the 3 Tomoe, and he's able, well, I guess you could say copy jutsu and do the advanced stuff with his Sharingan. And he's been training with somebody who has it for 6 years and non-stop. So if you don't really think him having a 3 Tomoe at this age is possible, then he's been training for 6 years with a 3 Tomoe Sharingan user. So don't at me on that stuff. And Naruto and Sasuke view themselves as blood brothers due to the fact that Naruto has a Sharingan. Also, he and Sasuke have become friends with Hinata, training and bonding for about 4 years. So when Naruto was 8 and Sasuke was 8, they started training together and becoming friends. And Sasuke doesn't like her, Naruto does, and Sasuke doesn't really like anybody at the moment, but I do have plans, and I've done this relationship in a previous What If. Because I don't want Sasuke to like Sakura. Anyways, we now switch to when Kakashi picks them up, but this time Hinata is on their team, and they basically switch teams. Naruto's still the dead last as he lacks in chakra. What I mean by switch teams is Sakura goes on team 10, I believe it is. Or Sakura goes on to Hinata's team and vice versa. And he can only his only form of chakra control is shadow clones, and that's all they teach, but he can't perform one clone. It always comes out bad because he doesn't have good chakra control. And if you can't perform the shadow clone, then you can't perform jutsu, so it'd be worth a pretty big mark. Well, I don't know if that's true, but in my opinion, it would. But he does have chakra control, he just can't limit it to such a small amount yet. As they introduce themselves, as Naruto said, I like training with Sasuke and Hinata, and I hate when people look down on others, and my dream is to become the strongest Hokage and surpass my father, Minato. As Sasuke then said, I like training with Hinata and Naruto, and I hate when people would rather fantasize over someone instead of honing their skills. And my dream is to surpass my big brother Itachi. As Hinata then said, I like training with Naruto and Sasuke, and I hate when people hold prejudice towards someone. And my dream is to be as strong and capable Kunoichi. As Kakashi took them to the training grounds, as he said, those are some pretty good ambitions, and I really like your dreams. I think that you all can accomplish them. As he then said, meet here tomorrow, as he took them to the training grounds. As they realized Kakashi, well, I guess you could say, wasn't there. So he basically just body flickered away. As he then said, and don't eat or you'll puke. Tomorrow, that is. As Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata had went to bed with determination and a smile on their face. As the next day, as the next morning, Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata had arrived at the training grounds. As they realized Kakashi wasn't even there, they started to devise a plan on how to catch Kakashi off guard. As they devised a plan in which Naruto would create clones and Hinata would transform into Naruto and create a shadow clone that would also bombard Kakashi with kunai and shuriken, and Sasuke would do the same, but his clone would aid in fighting Kakashi with fireball jutsus. Anyhow, Kakashi then arrived and they started the bell test, but they knew that teamwork was the key as they activated their plan. As Kakashi said, "Dead last, really? How could you be dead last?" As he then said, "That's a B rank jutsu," jumping back as he did the hand seals for the fireball jutsu, but the jutsu didn't fire as Hinata transformed as Naruto had hit his chakra points, but he didn't even realize it due to the fact that it's Naruto, so he doesn't realize that it's actually Hinata. As Sasuke's clone sent a fireball at Kakashi as Naruto then teleported to the clone and then Bancho tending Kakashi as he was then forced into the fireball. As Kakashi then forced open his chakra points as he countered with a water dragon jutsu at the last moment. As he then threw a kunai at the clone, dispersed it as Naruto then said, "Deep emotional castings." As Naruto had activated one of his most powerful genjutsu, and Kakashi then envisioned his team dying before his eyes, that being Obito, Rin, and Minato. As he awakened his Mangekyo Sharingan, but this time, I guess you could say, eternally, if you will. And it was, I guess you could say, a very emotional experience for Kakashi, so he was actually crying. And then he broke Naruto's control with his Mangekyo Sharingan, as Naruto had launched a water-style dragon, which he had learned by copying Kakashi's hand seals, as Sasuke had did the same, but he didn't copy Kakashi's hand seals. He already knew this jutsu from trying to learn something from Shisui, and this is what he taught him. The lightning release dragon, as Kakashi then used Kamui instinctively, as the blast disappeared, surprising Naruto and Sasuke, and even Hinata. Naruto also kept in mind in his head that Kakashi's ability with his Mangekyo Sharingan is to absorb attacks or to somewhat suck them up somewhere, which he assumes may be a dimension, which he has a dimension, so he assumes that he might have a dimension. Though Naruto does not have a Mangekyo Sharingan yet. Anyways, Naruto and Sasuke, and even Hinata, because he had a Sharingan, as Naruto's clones then attacked Kakashi, as Sasuke de-transformed as Naruto's clones, held Kakashi, and Naruto and Sasuke had grabbed the bells as Kakashi said, "You all pass," passing out. And due to the fact that they had worked together, they don't do the tree stump food eating teamwork challenge, and Kakashi rests in the hospital for a week. Anyhow, this is where I'll be ending this video. Subscribe, do it. And the like goal is 55 likes, but I have to get it out tomorrow, but I feel like just daily grinding. I don't really know why, but I just feel like daily grinding, and at least until Friday, because that's when where I live in Canada, Ontario, that's when Christmas break starts. So, but that's just when I'm gonna probably implement my every other day. But that just means my scripts will be better because I'll have more time to do it. Or it means that after the winter break, you'll have like so many parts out. It's actually gonna be insane. Anyways, like, subscribe, comment, share, comment what if ideas, because I actually need a what if where Naruto isn't too powerful, because I think that I'm making him so powerful when I don't know. And this what if he's gonna be really powerful, because he's the Sage of Six Paths, basically. And he has infinite Izanagi, but I'm not gonna utilize that yet until a bit. But, yeah. Anyways, this is Rami X. Subscribe! Rami X, out.